Na passada quinta-feira, a comunidade local, acompanhada por diversos convidados e membros da imprensa, reuniu-se para a inauguração oficial da Passage, um mural criado pelo artista Moises Frank, mais conhecido pelo pseudônimo Brother Moises. Encomendado pelo Dundas West Open Air Museum, esta obra é a mais recente adição ao dinâmico corredor de arte urbana que atravessa o bairro de Little Portugal, um dos mais vibrantes e culturalmente diversos de Toronto. O mural cobre toda a fachada lateral do edifício situado no número 1351 da Dundas Street West em Toronto e apresenta imagens vibrantes que homenageiam as profundas marcas deixadas pela migração, pelo trabalho e pelo patrimônio cultural inspirados nos pescadores da Nazaré, em Portugal. Passagem constrói uma narrativa visual poderosa conectando portos da Europa, África e América do Norte, entrelaçando histórias de coragem, esperança e resiliência. Para Brother Moises, o conceito de passagem reflete diretamente na sua obra como ato de atravessar algo e deixar uma marca.
So the word passage, it started as a conversation between me and one of the curators for Dundas West Museum, and he was talking about how boats would go through passages, and I felt like that word for some reason really rang with me. It was a beautiful symbol of passing through something, and I feel like when I make work, it's as if I'm leaving something here, I'm passing through, you know what I mean? And leaving my mark as I'm pulling through. I feel like this sort of transient feeling is something that I'm chasing when I'm making work, and I hope that I can see that and people can see that when they see the work, that it's like this sort of almost elusive, beautiful thing that has happened, you know? But the second meaning of it was actually, when I thought about it later, it was reminding me of a conversation I was having with the architect here at this building. They were talking about a poet from Nazaré who was writing poetry, and they read through some of the passages of the book, and I was like, this makes sense, passage as a sentence in poetry, but also as passing through. So, yeah.
O artista partilhou ainda que na sua juventude o grafite foi a sua principal forma de expressão.
When I was younger, I did graffiti. It was like my form of expression, going out. And as I got older, I started to realize, why am I doing this so much? And so I became more considerate of how I was leaving my mark. Feeling the weight of that was very important, and putting more time into the message that I'm leaving and the importance. Because, I'm going to die at some point, and this might get painted over, or the building might turn into something else. But I think for what it was and for the time that it's here, I want it to have something more meaningful than just scribbling my name. So that's why passage was important to me when I started thinking of the idea of why to put it here. So.
Diane Cabral, representando o rancho folclórico de Nazaré, partilhou a sua opinião sobre a importância de preservar a história e a cultura lusa.
I know we are all third generation Canadian, but we still recognize the history that's on this street. And all the Portuguese, wherever we are in, the GTA, we all have a little bit of history on Dundas. And so it was really important for us to be here and participate. The Rancho de Nazaré is the oldest rancho in Canada, and that's in part because some of the first Portuguese pioneers came from Nazaré. And that's what this mural is representing. So it was important for us to be here to celebrate that history and this little piece of that history, because without this, our rancho wouldn't be here, and the folklore we enjoy here in the GTA wouldn't be here. So, yeah, it's important to us.
Anabela Taborda, presidente das associações do Little Portugal e Little Portugal na Dundas, também sublinhou o valor do mural na preservação da cultura portuguesa em Toronto.
Hoje tivemos a oportunidade de abraçar mais um mural que celebra a cultura portuguesa, neste caso a Nazaré, que mostra o que é a vida, ou tenta mostrar o que é a vida do mar do povo português. Tivemos muitas pessoas que vieram ver, tivemos pessoas que passaram na rua, que me disseram que estavam encantadas com a pintura e que o trabalho realmente que está a ser feito para manter a nossa cultura aberta, que é o principal aqui da zona, que é não deixar o nosso portugalismo desaparecer, mesmo que não haja cá um português, toda a gente sabe quem é Portugal.
A Dundas Street já conta com vários murais que representam Portugal e as suas gentes, tornando-se um verdadeiro retrato da herança cultural portuguesa em Toronto. Passage não apenas celebra a rica cultura portuguesa, mas também destaca o papel fundamental das comunidades migrantes na construção do tecido social e cultural da cidade.